Sue Bird doubles down on Caitlin Clark's stance, opens up about WNBA's MVP race. The WNBA ushered in a new era on Friday night, hosting the first Barbie-themed game. It featured the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever, which are led by two of the most popular players in the league, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, respectively. Former Seattle Storm star Sue Bird played an integral role in Friday's event. She partnered with Barbie to unveil its latest campaign, Give Limitless Possibilities. Even though Bird's playing days are over, she remains locked in on the WNBA. Of course, she's also trying other things like hosting her own podcast, A Touch More. We caught up with Sue Bird to talk about the WNBA's first Barbie-themed game, the rise of Caitlin Clark, and much more. The Spun, the WNBA had its first Barbie-themed game this Friday. What do you hope that did for the league and those watching? Sue Bird: I think my hope is that everyone left a little more inspired. There was a variety of different people at the game, playing in the game, watching the game at home. I hope this message can leave everyone more inspired and motivated to help create change in whatever ways they can. The Spun: can you tell us about the Give Limitless Possibilities campaign? Sue Bird: it's super important to me because I think of my whole childhood. When this campaign was first put in front of me, it reminded me how lucky I was to have people like my parents who allowed me to try new things. They really encouraged me to try new things. I think that's where the limitless aspect of it comes in. In order to find yourself, it's important to go out there and try things. Even as a player, the only way I was ever going to add something to my game and get better was by trying new things. Even in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, that can be scary. So you need people around you who will encourage you to do that. I feel very lucky that I can spread that message, and that's what makes me proud to be part of this campaign with Barbie. No, I definitely did not imagine that. When we did the unveiling, I said I didn't grow up thinking about stuff like that. The fact that I've left a legacy that someone else can see and think about exceeding that makes it really special for me. It's kind of like this campaign, which is to encourage people and be creative. That's what a lot of doll playing is. You have to figure out what you like and don't like. It's really special to me because it comes back to having that impact for the next generation. I know you spent time at the Olympics. Outside of basketball, what was your favorite event to watch during your time in Paris? I got to see the finals for women's gymnastics for the balance beam and floor, so that was really exciting. I've never seen Simone Biles perform in person before. If she doesn't compete in Los Angeles, that means I've seen her last performance in the Olympics. Either way, that's a memory I won't forget. Who would be a dream guest to have on your podcast? A touch more? I don't have a dream guest at the moment. I'm just really focused on making our podcast content very organic. But since you've asked, would Margot Robbie or Greta Gerwig want to come on and do some Barbie talk? I'd do that in a heartbeat. You recently talked about the Indiana Fever's pace causing problems for their opponents. What do you think is more lethal? Caitlin Clark's range or the pace she plays with? Let me think about it. I'd say it's the range because that unlocks everything else. And like you said, it only edges out the other by a little bit. The fact that Caitlin possesses both skills makes her so difficult to defend. I do think her range and how much of a threat she is despite being so far from the basket creates so much space. When I talk about pace, it's literally the way she's constantly moving and the pressure it puts on a defense. You can never relax. But circling back to your question, in order for Caitlin to unlock the defense, she has to have the range. That's just my opinion, though. What are your thoughts on A'ja Wilson's season and her pursuit of another MVP? What I find interesting about MVP conversations is that they change each year based on standings or if a team is considered to be overachieving or underachieving. The criteria can all change from year to year. My starting point is something to the effect of who's the best player on the best team. Breanna Stewart and A'ja Wilson in past years have made so much sense for the award. But I've been in the league long enough to witness MVP races where it was someone who's having an unbelievable statistical anomaly of a year, like Lauren Jackson. She's won MVP in years when we weren't in the top 3 spots. I've seen it all when it comes to MVP races. I tried not listen to all the noise. Yes, the Aces have lost more games than people anticipated, but A'ja Wilson's play has not dropped. She has been the most consistent throughout the course of this season. F.